Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Today I will be showing you a god tier strength build that does lots of damage and most importantly will make you feel unstoppable. Quick shout out to our sponsor AOE.com. If you don't want to grind for items or runes and you want items real quick, use my code COLD for 3% off. Just wanted to give a special shout out to all of you guys. Thank you for all the support in the channel. We actually just hit 1 million views this month, which is a huge milestone for me. Now this build focuses primarily on strength, raw damage, and I'm telling you guys right now, you're gonna destroy anything that gets in your path. With just a little bit of faith though, we can actually get extra damage on this build and not only increase our offense but also have ways to increase our defense as well. I've managed to 1 to 2 shot pretty much every mini boss in this game, and most of the main bosses don't stand a chance either. You can see right here we are currently wielding 2 colossal weapons on this build, which looks a little ridiculous, but let me tell you guys, you are not going to regret it. Your damage output on this build is going to be insane, your defense is going to be incredible, and nothing is going to get in your way, making this one of the best strength builds in Elden Ring. If you are somewhere in the level 50 range, well then your attributes could look something like this. For Vigor, we have 40. Vigor is going to be extremely important, especially for a melee focused build. Mind, we don't really have to worry about too much. Mind at 12. Endurance 14. Strength at 25. Dexterity 16. Intelligence 10. Faith 10. And Arcane 9. Now, if you are in the level 100 range, well then your attributes would look like this. Same principles apply. We have Vigor at 60. HP is going to be extremely important on this build because we're going to be up close and we need to make sure we have as much survivability as possible. Mind at 12, we didn't touch Mind too much. Endurance 25, we wanted to bump that up a little bit as well. Strength 40, so Vigor and Strength are going to be primarily our 2 highest attributes on the build. We have Dexterity at 16, Intelligence 10, Faith at 15, so we can use a couple of incantations with our seal, and then Arcane 9. And then last but not least, we have level 150, which is typically where most people like to stop leveling. For Vigor, we have 60, Mind 15, our Endurance is at 40, Strength at 60, Dexterity 16, Intelligence 10. We bumped up our Faith to 25, so we could take advantage of Golden Vow, which is going to give you more damage on the build, and then Arcane at 9. You can see here to the left, these are my current attributes. I'm level 251, so I'm a bit of a higher level, but your attributes are going to look something like this as you progress through the game and continue to level up. You can see that I took advantage of increasing my Faith for even more incantations. For our weapons, we are using 2 colossal weapons, which actually received a buff in update 1.04. These weapons do lots of damage, they're extremely reliable, and today we're going to take a look at 2 specific ones that I'm using. In our right hand, we are wielding the Heavy Giant Crusher, which is fully maxed out plus 25. Easily one of the best strength weapons in Elden Ring. As I do in all of my videos, I'm going to put links in the description below that will show you exactly where to go to obtain every single item that we go over today. But I do want to show you guys exactly where to get this Giant Crusher hammer because it's amazing. Once you open up the map, go north to the Atlas Plateau area. As you progress to the game, you will eventually hit a site of grace called the Outer Wall Phantom Tree. Once you spawn at the site of grace, go ahead and hop on your horse. It's actually pretty close. All you have to do is come over this way. There's going to be a small camp, but be warned, as soon as you enter this camp, you will have to fight a boss that might be quite tough if you're under leveled. But there is going to be a carriage here that you open, and this is how you obtain the Giant Crusher hammer. In our left hand, we have the Inferno hammer, and judging by the name Inferno, you would assume that this weapon does fire damage, but it's just a regular hammer similar to the Giant Crusher that we have here. Still does incredible amounts of damage, and it's a good placeholder until you can get your hands on 2 Giant Crushers. We also have a seal on this build, the CLAWMARK seal to be specific. Ours is fully maxed out plus 25. What makes this seal such an amazing option For a strength build like ours, it heavily favors strength and faith scaling. In order to use incantations, which are going to be extremely important on this build, you are going to need a seal. The incantations we are using are Golden Vow, and we also have Flame Grant Me Strength, which is going to increase our offense and defense simultaneously. Now, usually for the apparel, I would say it's personal preference, but for this build, the Raptors Black Feathers are going to be incredible. Equipping this chest piece armor is going to strengthen our jump attacks, and jump attacks is what you were seeing in all of the gameplay footage so far. Our jump attack is going to do so much damage, and the Raptors Black Feathers, along with the talisman that we have, are definitely going to help out. Now, you may have noticed this already, but I am actually using 2 of the same Ashes of War for each of my colossal weapons. The Ash of War that we are using on both of our colossal weapons is the Royal Knight's Resolve, skill of the knight who once served the Elden Lord. Hold the flat of the armament to your face and pledge your resolve, greatly powering up your next attack. To be more specific, the Royal Knight's Resolve is going to add 80% extra damage to both of your colossal weapons. I mean, 80% extra damage for each weapon is absolutely insane, and it's part of the reason why it's going to be so easy to kill your opponents. The talismans are also very important. The Great Jar's arsenal is going to be great because we are going to be carrying a lot of weight on this build, and we want to make sure we can vastly raise our maximum equipment load. The second talisman, which is amazing for melee focused builds, is the DRAGONCREST GREATSHIELD talisman, which enormously boosts physical damage negation. The third talisman, which is actually the most important talisman on this build, is the Claw talisman, which enhances jump attacks. The Claw talisman actually stacks with the Raptor's Black Feathers, making this a very deadly combination. Last but not least, the Green Turtle talisman, which raises our stamina recovery speed. Now, we already have a lot of endurance on this build, but that increased stamina recovery speed is definitely going to be noticeable, and it's going to allow you to get those extra hits in when you really need them. For our Wondrous Physic, we are using the Stone Barb Crack tier and the Green Burst Crystal tier. The Stone Barb is going to temporarily make stance breaking easier, which is very effective with colossal weapons, and the Green Burst is going to temporarily boost stamina recovery speed. We also spoke about incantations earlier, and I definitely don't want to forget that. We are taking advantage of 5 incantations on this build. We are using Golden Vow, which requires 25 faith, and this is going to increase our attack and defense, not only for ourselves, but for our allies as well. You can stack this with Flame Grant Me Strength, which raises physical and fire affinity attack power. Now, if you want to make your build more defensive, you would use Blessing of the Erd Tree and Black Flames Protection. Keep in mind, you're going to have to bump up your faith to at least 38 to utilize these, but the Blessing of the Erd Tree is going to grant a greater blessing for self and allies, healing you over time, and the Black Flames Protection is going to increase physical damage negation, allowing you to tank more damage. Now, I'm pretty sure you can only stack Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength, and you can stack Blessing of the Erd Tree and Black Flames Protection. So it really depends on what you want to do, a more offensive route or a more defensive route. The last incantation here, very good to have, and it only requires 12 faith. Flame Cleanse Me, which alleviates buildup and cures poison and scarlet rot. That is the build, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, a thumbs up would be very much appreciated. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to see more Elden Ring videos just like this one in the future. Thanks, guys.